Currently, we have $62,600 over revenues over expenditures. Department's still doing a good job of staying in budget. On capital expenditures, we're getting close to winding all that up. We're through with the Harbor Freight Road and we're through with the infrastructure for Wyman Gordon. So both those projects have been completed money-wise.
Anybody have any questions?
A little bit of money.
Okay, we appreciate that information. Any other questions that we have? If not, we'll go down to number 8, ordinance reading. Do I have a motion to do this by name only, or do you want the attorney to read the whole ordinance?
Mr. Chairman, yeah, these are third readings of these ordinances, so we probably need to do them one at a time. Probably, yes, sir. The first reading is third reading of the ordinance to amend the Green Development Joint Industrial Business Park dated May 27, 2009 between Marion and Dillon County. This adds another parcel of land to the park. That parcel of land is in Marion County.
Okay, that requires a motion. Make a motion to accept the third reading.
I'll make that motion to accept the third reading.
Is there a second? Second. Motion and second, any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand.
The next ordinance is the third reading of a bond ordinance. And this is a bond authorized issuance and sale of not to exceed $2,500 general obligation bond and not exceeding $1,300 general obligation bond, increasing the principal amount of series 2015 and not exceeding $1,500 amount. Other matters related thereto. These are just in regard to bonds. I think part of the bond and most of the bond was used for the judicial center. All of them used for the judicial center. All of them. To pay for the judicial center. It's the third and final reading. We had the public hearing earlier.
Mr. DeBose, Mr. Chairman, if I may, that's $1,300,000, not 1,300.
I'm sorry, $1,300,000. I apologize. And right. $1,500,000. Right. I apologize. $2,500,000, $1,300,000, $1,500,000. Excuse me.
We have a motion to accept the third reading of this ordinance 1306.
I'll make a motion to pass third reading.
That was a motion by Harold Moody. Is that second?
Second.
Arthur Scott seconds. Any more discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand.
Next, we have second reading. The ordinance is actually in the package, so this will be actually reading the ordinance. And that involves a fee and lieu tax agreement between Dillon County and Project Geometric, which provides for a fee of lieu tax and certain special source revenue credits and the inclusion of property in multi-county industrial park. And I believe that's the expanding industry council previously discussed. Second reading.
Okay, we had a second reading, we have a motion that we approve the second reading.
I make that motion.
Mr. Carter makes the motion to approve, is there a second?
I'll second.
Robert Coward makes the motion to second. Any more discussion? If not, vote by raise your right hand. Favor.
Mr. Chairman, the next one is first reading, and that involves the multi-county industrial park. And that does involve the project geometric property. And that also is a multi-county industrial park between Dillon and Marion counties, but the property is in Dillon County, it's project geometric. That's number D, first reading.
Mr. Bowles, that's the 99.1%.
Yes, yes, yes. 99% to Dillon, 1% to Marion.
Thanks.
We have a motion to approve the first reading to develop a jointly owned and operated industrial park in Junction and Marion County. Okay, Stephen Ross made the motion, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, there's more discussion, all in favor, raise your right hand.
Next, we have the first reading of the proposed ordinance involving the Dillon County Board of Assessment Appeals. Mr. Chairman, this one in your package before you now is substantially like the one you already have enacted. The difference is the one that's presently enacted provides a compensation to the members of the board, and this one just makes it where there's no compensation, and you'll set the compensation in your annual budget, which is what you have been doing. You've been establishing the compensation or per diem or the expenses in your annual budget. This doesn't say anything about that, which means it will go back to your annual budget. Now, when this is approved on third reading, you will need to reappoint the members, and as a matter of information, most of the members of the board are holdovers anyway. But I mean, their terms have expired and they're holdovers. So this will do two things. Number one, it will make it clear that any compensation they get is going to be in the annual budget or per diem. And secondly, it'll make it clear that they'll be reappointed because, as I just said, there's a memo in here that establishes that most of them are holdovers anyway. Haven't made appointments in a long time.
I would also like to add, Mr. Chairman, if I'm in order, Mr. Bowles, I looked at this early today, and this one of them requires him, the one that you just previously talked about 5 minutes.
I missed out, you made it clear. We changed that. Lisa, did you hand that out?
Yes, it should be new ones
I
changed.
didn't see the change.
I apologize. I said we have a new one. We changed that.
You explained the 5 members.
Well, this one
instead of
says,
7 members.
this says 7 members.
Okay, good. I have the old one.
To be appointed with 1 member residing in each county council district.
No problem.
Good question. We changed it.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a first reading of the order to establish the Dillon County Board of Assessments and Appeals. We have a motion to approve the first reading.
Don't move.
Councilor Scott made the motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Bobby made a second. Any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand.
Mr. Chairman, the next 2 matters I'll talk about together. We really don't have an ordinance there, so it's really for information, so we don't just need to accept it for information. There is a memo in your package that deals with these 2 boards and basically says again that the Zoning Appeals Board and the Planning Commission, the people have not been appointed for some time, so they're holdovers. This was brought to my attention last year. You can see the date of this is November 3rd. But at that point, two new council members were going to apparently take office in January. So administratively, it was decided that the new council members should appoint or recommend the members from their districts. That's why we waited until January. So the next council agenda will actually delineate who's serving and who's holdovers and get it to you folks ahead of time so y'all can determine, make appointments.
Next meeting, each council will have an appointment or not?
I think the only one that's not a holdover is, help me out here, Lisa, which board, one board does have 2 members that have been appointed.
You'll look at tax and fuel.
Both of them, yeah, each one of them, let's look at them together.
They are.
One board does have two members that have been appointed.
Yeah.
We'll find it in a minute. Here we go, I found it right here. The zoning board of appeals, it looks to me like James Hayes was appointed in December 2013, and Brownie Campbell in January of 2011. Those are the only two that aren't holdovers. The rest of the members, you can see, were appointed and their terms have expired. You have a copy of this. And I think the zoning board of appeals, all the terms have expired. Am I correct, Lisa?
Well, that was the zoning board.
That is, okay, I'm sorry.
So the planning
Here we go, the planning commission. Zoning board of appeals has two members whose terms haven't expired. And it looks to me like the planning commission, all of them have expired. Planning commission, all terms have expired. Zoning board of appeals, Brian Campbell, is still serving, and James Hayes still have terms. The rest of them have expired. It's just a matter of reappointing people, whoever you want to appoint.
All three different things, are we on this now, have we already approved these?
No, I think next meeting you probably ought to put on the agenda to have these appointments.
All three?
Yeah. These are the two sheets.
Put this on the.
And we'll send them out by district too. We'll tell you who, by district, who. That way.
Well, Lisa has the districts written beside them here.
Right, she got it right there.
Make sure it's as current as it should be.
Yeah.
And it's gonna give us time to clean up the ordinance too, all three ordinances, will give us a little time to get them cleaned up a little bit too.
We did that before, the native patient.
Go ahead and pass first, we already did.
No, I think as you pass first reading on the zoning board of appeals, I think the planning commission is just for information. It's something, it's a housekeeping matter the council needs to address, is to make, reappoint the members, or whoever you want, of course, all the terms expired. Planning commission, every term expired.
We haven't seen, had a chance to even think about it.
Right.
Anything, we come up here today,
Right.
and it's all new.
I'd wait.
It's a matter of information.
I'd wait. It's a matter of information.
Okay, we'll take it.
Thank you for information. But, Mr. Chairman, yeah, we put it in the agenda so that next time you wouldn't be surprised.
Yep, all right.
Next time we'll get it to you, you won't be surprised.
Okay.
Mr. Bowes, on these 4-year terms,
Yes.
well, Mr. Campbell's term shows he was appointed in 11 and it is 15.
See, I said Mr. Campbell and Mr. Hayes here to me have terms. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, he was appointed, yeah, he was just expired, then it's gonna expire.
So
About 2 days
he
ago.
would have to keep him appoint somebody
Yeah.
new next time too.
Right. 2
So
days
Mr.
ago.
Hayes is the only one that has a good appointee, right?
That's correct. When I wrote my memo, I was referring back to what my memo said. When I wrote my memo, he had a term, he doesn't now though. The only one that has a term now is, James Hayes, has a 4-year term. He was done in 13. So he has a 4-year term. Mr. Campbell had a 4-year term, but his expired 2 days ago. So the only one, District 4, has a valid member serving, the rest of the districts don't. On zoning board of appeals, planning commission, a 4-year term, and it looks to me like, if you look at that, all those terms have expired. Some of them a long time ago. Y'all have these sheets, at least we'll send them out again, won't we? Just send the sheets out
The
again.
council want to appoint these today, or you want to wait the next meeting to do it?
I think y'all make an agenda item.
Whatever you want.
Let's wait till the next meeting, then we'll know what.
We can wait the next meeting.
Yeah, I just wait. That's fine.
Then everybody get a chance.
Mr. Chairman, I wasn't suggesting you do it now, I just wanted the council to be aware collectively at one time that this needs to be addressed. And Mr. Booty is correct, it looks like only Mr. Hayes on the zoning board of appeals has a current term, the rest of them have expired.
How long they been as far as some of them a couple of years, hasn't it?
Well, some of them, one of them 2006.
Okay.
Stay on.
Been out of the nine resolution.
So it's just a matter of reappointing them, and we'll just, the ordinance, and I'll go in greater detail about that, but the ordinance says when the term starts, so we'll have to address that. But we can address that next meeting. We'll get something to you that tells you exactly what's going on and exactly what needs to be done.
Any more discussion on this? Just for the number 9 resolution. Resolution recognizing the hope for a healthier nation disparity conference. Dr. Carolyn Covers and Manning Baptist Church Health Ministry and the Community Advisory Board.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, they asked us to do a resolution, I think some of them are here, and I know Mr. DeBose and Jerry C. Stevens and Lisa, they're working on that too, so y'all want to read the resolution?
Yeah.
You got it, Lisa? You got the final one?
You wanna read it?
I'll read it.
This is a resolution by Dillon County Council recognizing the hope for a healthier nation health disparities conference. Whereas the hope for a healthier nation health disparities conference will be recognized on February 28, 2015 to bring awareness of continued health disparities in our community. And whereas the hope for a healthier nation health disparities conference will bring together the leaders in that field to a conference to share their experience. And whereas we as a community should spend our time and resources seeking and implementing a solution to this problem. And whereas the Hope for Healthier Nation Health Disparities Conference was developed and planned by Dr. Carolyn Covington, Manning Baptist Church Health Ministry, and the Community Advisory Board. And whereas Dillon County Council wishes to express its appreciation for the organization of the Hope for Healthier Nation Health Disparities Conference. Now therefore be resolved by Dillon County Council that Dillon County expresses its support of the Hope for Healthier Nation Health Disparities Conference. Resolved by Dillon County this 28th day of January 2015.
Sure, I think we got some people here that they want to speak. I think we have some people here that they want to speak on that. Is anybody here? Lisa, is anybody?
I make that motion to adopt the resolution.
Okay.
Okay, I just got to make a motion to adopt the resolution, is that second?
I second.
All right, all in favor, raise your right hand.
I second.
Now we go down to number 10, says appointment. A is the PD Regional Health Service District Board. And slash Ann Bozar, tell me something about this board, I don't really know what it is.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, we got notified by the organization to see if we had an appointment there, and I think Mr. Bose talked to Mr. Atkins.
If we could delay that, the clerk and I are trying to resolve the enabling authority by Dillon County which established that position. It's a complicated matter. It was done by state law, and then subsequently it was devolved, which is a legal word, to counties. But Ms. Gray and I have not been able to find the legislation that the county passed to establish it. So we have to deal with the organization to try to find out where we stand.
Talking to Florence County.
Before I went on vacation, I called them, and then I went on vacation. This came up 2 weeks ago. I don't think it affects Dillon County appointing someone that you certainly want to do. It doesn't, I don't think it affects the validity of the board because there are a lot more members, but it's just something, it's a housekeeping matter we just need to take care of.
What is this Dan Bozar thing down here? Is he the one that y'all recommended, or somebody recommended the appointment?
Yes,
What you recommend?
he was recommended, but we're trying to establish the underlying authority to appoint.
If we go ahead and appoint somebody now,
I think it'd be better if you just wait and let us try to Again, Mr. Cowler, this is, I refer to these things as housekeeping matters, like this, the board's housekeeping. I think we need to wait until we find out, so we can cite what we're doing.
You're gonna make a motion, you're gonna,
I think you can
You
just
gonna
defer,
table
I
it?
think you can just defer that, and make a motion to table it to the next
okay.
meeting.
We have a motion to table, PD Regional Health Service District Board.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Robert Coward making the motion, is there a second?
Second.
And then a second, Deborah Grice, is any discussion? All in favor of tabling it, raise your right hand. Okay, we're down to 10, B, Dillon County Public-Private Economic Development Partnership Board, expired appointment for District 5, 6, 7. The council members in District 5 want to recommend.
I would come first, I'm in 3.
Okay.
It's all right, if I'm in line.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I want to recommend to my appointment for District 3 to the Economic Development Private Partnership, Mr. Charles Taylor. Instead of Mr. Taylor, we be serving in my district on that.
That's a good appointment, good man.
Nothing for last.
Okay, this next would be District 5.
I'm going to recommend Mr. Hayward Crosby,
Okay.
or nominate
Everybody
Mr.
knows
Hayward
Hayward.
Crosby.
That's good, he's down on the board. District 7.
6.
No,
I recommend Mr. Robert
no,
Anderson.
6, that's right.
Mr. Robert Anderson.
Okay, he's
He's already on there. I recommend his name.
7.
I'd like to recommend Keith Allen.
Okay, keep that. Okay.
Yeah.
As the chairman, I supposed to make an appointment. The chairman has one appointment, non-voting member, LaFonda Gibb, has been in the past, and I'd like to reappoint LaFonda Gibb. This requires a motion, we have a motion about this,
Make a motion, we approve all the appointments.
okay?
I'll say.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, before we adjourn, Craig Young supposed to give, after I adjourn, give out a copy of, the committees we set up, everybody can't be on one committee, and I try to spread it out as even as I could. There's one thing I want to make certain, and let all the council members know, that we're going to have more transparency this year than we ever had before. And when I want all committees to meet and give reports back, I was on the committee last year that never met, and I want to maybe schedule committee meetings, and any committee that has a controversial thing coming up, I'm have to call in a full council workshop on it. Let all the council members discuss this thing, so whenever we go to a meeting, nothing's gonna catch anybody by surprise. There's going to be 1 or 2 or 3 trying to push something through. Everybody's gonna be working together, and I just want this committee to really do some work this time. And the chairman of this committee, I wish they would, as soon as they can schedule it, call a meeting and come up with what they think they need to do this year, and we can see that everything's done right. Do we have a motion now to adjourn?
So move.
Is it second?
Second.
All in favor, raise your right